Hey folks, got what you could call a viewer-requested lesson for you today. On an old lesson I did on converting fractions to percentages, Blackberry Gotcha commented, "How do you have so many subscribers if your videos make no sense to me?" Look, all I'm saying is you should do these lessons on a computer with an actual mic. Well, Blackberry, you'll be happy to know that most of my lessons these days are done on a computer with a microphone, but just because your comment seemed a little rude, we're going to do this one on a whiteboard, but I do have my microphone. So let's do it again. I'll explain how to convert a fraction to a percentage. I'll try to explain it a little bit better and hopefully it'll help you out. So the key thing to remember is that percentages are in terms of hundredths. So if you say score 80 points on an exam, out of a maximum possible of 100 points, you scored 80 out of 100, this is in terms of hundredths. So this is equal to 80%. 80 over 100 is 80%. But let's say instead you scored 80 out of a total of 120 points. If you score 80 out of 120, this is not in terms of hundredths, so it's not equal to 80%. So if we wanted to write this fraction as a percentage, how would we go about doing that? Thankfully, it's pretty straightforward. So we would like it if this fraction was written like this, some number over 100. So then the idea is that if we solve this equation for x, we'll know what this fraction would look like in terms of hundredths, and thus we'll know what it's equal to as a percentage. So all we have to do is solve this equation for x. We'll want to get rid of that 100 in the denominator, so let's multiply both sides of the equation by 100. Multiply the left side by 100, multiply the right side by 100. The 100s, of course, over here cancel out. Over here, we just multiply 100 by the numerator, 80, which gives us 8,000, and then that's getting divided by 120 in the denominator, and this is equal to x. And this is how you do it every single time. Very easy, just a couple steps, and then at this point, you would crack out your calculator to do the division, or do it by hand, or whatever you got to do. So if we do 8,000 divided by 120, it's about 66.6666. We'll say it's about 66.67. And let me actually rewrite the equals sign as an approximately. So make them curvy. That means x is approximately 66.67 rounded to 2 decimal places. All right, now what does this mean? Well, this means that 80 over 120, our original fraction, 80 over 120, when we set that equal to x over 100, we found that x was about 66.67. That means that 80 over 120 is equal to 66.67 divided by 100, because we solved for x in this equality. And, if you wanted to be picky, you could say this is only approximately because we had to round. But regardless, that means that this is equal to 66.67%, right? Because this fraction is in terms of hundredths. So this is 66.67%. So that's how we would write 80 over 120 as a percentage. Notice as well that you might have been able to solve this problem faster by just simplifying the fraction. You might notice that the number 40 goes into 80 twice, and 40 goes into 120 3 times. So we could have rewritten this fraction, we could have simplified it to 2 over 3, because again, 40 goes into 80 twice, 40 goes into 123 times, and there's a good chance a lot of you would recognize 2/3 as about 66.67%. But doing it this way is perfectly fine too. So let me erase it and we'll go through another example. So say we've got the fraction 13 over 15. What is this fraction as a percentage? Well, of course, we don't know yet because it's not written in terms of hundredths. So we would set it equal to x over 100 because we would like it to look something like that. Then all we have to do is solve for x. Again, multiply both sides of the equation by 100 to get rid of the 100 in the denominator. The 100s cancel out. Over here, we've just got 100 times the numerator, so that's 1,300, and then divided by 15 in the denominator. This is equal to x. Crack out your calculator, 1,300 divided by 15. Again, you could do this by hand if you needed to. This is about 86.67. So we'll say this is just about 86.67. Again, what does this mean? This means that our original fraction, 13 over 15 is equal to x over 100, 86.67 over 100. So now we've written this fraction as an equivalent fraction, but in terms of hundredths. And so we can see that it's equal to 86.67%. All right, so here's one more, pretty easy one. You might even know what this is as a percentage off the top of your head. Give it a try, write 3/5 as a percentage, pause the video, figure it out, and then we will go through solving the problem. Hopefully you've done it. Hopefully you've got an answer. Remember, nice and easy. All we got to do, set it equal to x over 100. Multiply both sides by 100 in order to get x by itself. The 100s cancel out. Over here, we've got 100 times 3, which is 300, divided by 5 in the denominator. This is equal to x, and this fraction, 300 over 5, happens to be equal to 60. So we've just shown that our original fraction, 3 over 5, if we write it in terms of hundredths, it's equal to 60 over 100. 60 over 100, thus, that's our percent. It's 60%. And that's how you turn a fraction into a percentage by hand with some, assistance from the calculator if you need it to do that division. But if you're doing it by hand, you can just do out the long division on this step, and then you'll be doing the whole process by hand. It's a beautiful thing. So BlackBerry gotcha. Hopefully you found this video a bit more helpful. If not, feel free to ask any questions down in the comments. I'd be happy to clarify anything in this process, and let me know if you have any other video requests. The same thing, of course, goes to everybody watching. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you have any video requests, and that's usually in a very particular part of the thing I say at the end of a video, so now I'm not sure what to say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And be sure to subscribe for the swankiest math lessons on the internet. And BlackBerry, I forgive you, but don't be so mean next time.